Is there nothing about this series that doesn't surprise me? What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on issue number 35 of Teen Titans. And guys, man, what a chapter this was, or issue, chapter, whichever way you want to look at it, doesn't matter. One thing's for certain though, when we found out when Roundhouse was the traitor, and that he was the one who took Jin's ring, we were all pretty much wondering to ourselves, why? Mind control, this or that or this, whatever. All I know is, we were all waiting for this issue so we could finally get our answers. And first off, let me just say, the cover really can't show how dark and edgy these Titans are. And there's no better way to show it than Bernard Jang with his art and on this cover and on the pages here. I've said before how much I love his art, and I'm just going to continue to say it because it's just that good. But in any case, what this is on the story though, with Roundhouse and his reasoning, they're understandable to say the least, but there's not to say that like the way he went about it was the right thing to do, because the way he went about it just really wasn't right at all, at least in my opinion and stuff. His reasonings for what he's doing, it's understandable, but let me just go ahead and let y'all know what happened. So it turns out the reason he betrayed the team, for to say, was because he wants them to listen to him, since they weren't listening, and it has to do with Robin. It turns out, first off, well, he blames Robin for what happened to his sister, and it also explains how he got his powers, because we were never given the full details on that. We knew he suffered for survival's guilt for his sister dying while he stayed alive. Well, it turns out it all was related to his powers. Yes, and you see, he and his sister, unfortunately, they one time when they were just trying to go home, ran into a building that exploded, which ended up giving Roundhouse chemicals spilled all over him that ended up giving him his powers. But unfortunately, his sister didn't make it, so got so lucky, is better yet to say. His sister didn't get so lucky, and she died. And it turns out the building exploded, and Robin escaped from the building, showing Roundhouse that it was Robin who had destroyed that building. And Robin said he remembered that. He was taking on some grunts that worked for Scarecrow and trying to stop them. And he destroyed the building, but he didn't know there was anyone out there. He thought the perimeter was empty. And it was, because this building was in an alley and stuff. And unfortunately, Roundhouse and his sister just unfortunately decided to go there at the wrong time. So basically, the part where he's blaming Damian for his sister's death and for his powers and all, well, I can't say he doesn't have any right to be mad at Damian or blame him per se, but all I know is it was just an accident, and sometimes that'll happen. When it comes to heroes in fighting the bad guys and stuff, unfortunately, sometimes innocent people are going to get caught in the crossfire, and that is exactly what happened. And during that time and moment, all I just thought to myself was, Roundhouse is pretty much like the Victim Syndicate. If you guys don't know who those guys are, they were in the introduced in the second story arc of Detective Comics during the Rebirth era. So yes, Roundhouse's faith is similar to the Victim Syndicate, and in also the fact that, like the Victim Syndicate, he blames Robin for what happened to him and the loss of his sister and stuff. And unfortunately, though, this is also where there's a difference between Batman and Damian. Now, I'm pretty sure Batman never exactly said he's sorry to the Victim Syndicate, but at the same time, he felt sorry for them, and he wanted to try to make things right for them. Here, Damian doesn't exactly apologize or anything like that. So understandably so, why you can get why Roundhouse would be pissed at this guy. But it's more of Robin didn't even know about it. And here's the part where I'm gonna have to be like disappointed with Roundhouse. Okay, so even though Roundhouse did get his powers, he didn't like get like mad enough to become a villain like the Victim Syndicate. He was actually thrilled that Kid Flash was gonna make him be a hero, because he felt that's what he could finally do with his powers and become a hero. But when he found out he was gonna be working for for Robin, that's where he came up with the idea of releasing the prisoners back in the Terminus agenda and stuff, so he could expose everyone to the villain that Robin is. At least in his eyes, he sees Robin as a villain. And while I do agree that what Damien's trying to do, because he really wants to stop this cycle from going on, and yeah, lots of people would love to do that, stop the cycle of these bad guys coming back and stuff, but at the same time, I understand Damien's point, but his methods just aren't something I can support, which is what Roundhouse is trying to say to the team. Well, how can they support it? Well, this is where we actually finally get a chance to hear Crush's point of view on this, because when you think about it, did we ever get Crush's opinion on this? I mean, no, we never really did, because, well, all she ever thought of was just wanting to be win her heart with Jin, since Jin she has a crush on and stuff, but she never really gave out her point of view on crime. But this is where she finally admits that, yes, I agree, we need to find a better way, although she did agree that what happened with her father, Lobo, is a different story, and that he deserved what he needed to do. And I would have to agree on that. Lobo's a different story compared to the criminals, to some of the normal criminals in Gotham and other places on Earth and stuff. We got Lobo here, and let's just face it, that guy, he had to get his little mind wiped up there, but messed up there by Jin. But even though when it was finally looking like things would calm down here, Damien, with being the asshole that he is, doesn't, like I said, he didn't apologize. Instead, he said, release us and I'll forgive you. And whoa, that pissed off Roundhouse so much. And I mean, really, all that much. He got so mad that with, again, Bernard's art started to show off all the different sorts of things his powers could do with him. But his anger really got the better of him. And he did something that he thinks will make Damien suffer, since he also knows that maybe him and Jin have something going on. So what he does to get revenge, he makes Jin commands her to go back in the ring forever. Oh no, that's not good at all. And and what's even worse, berserk mode time for Crush. Crush goes berserk mode, and it is not pretty at all. She is just going insane. She's gone insane here. I was just like, oh no, what have you done, Roundhouse? You really screwed it up now. And then with her being able to get escape, well, from the looks on Damien's face here, he doesn't like what's happened with Jin being stuck in the ring and everything. But then it leads into this point where the symbol here, which has been shown in other issues that deal with the Year of the Villain storyline, because as you know, some of these comics right now have a Year of the Villain tie-in sort of comic, and right now with some of them they've had that symbol show up, and this one showed up in the Teen Titans. I forget which other books they showed up in. All I know is that this is about to lead into something very big. Now, does this mean there's a crossover coming? No, not per se. Just like another Year of the Villain thing, where the villains are really taking the stage here in this issue and other issues. But it turns out that this thing right here that Jin is, I at first thought it was like some sort of berserk mode because of her alien origin tied to Lobo. But it turns out it's like this, because Lobo showed up here and said, Luthor said it was some kind of mind control. And what do you know, kid? It worked. It's you and me now, girly, and we're about to have a blast. So he has Crush under a mind control here. Oh my god. Under a mind control? Whoa. That explains it at least. Because, like I said, I thought that was actually an actual alien berserk mode thing for her origin side with Lobo. But I guess not. And let's hope the Titans can find a way to stop that. Because right now it's going to be Lobo and Crush versus the Teen Titans. And the problem is Jin's now in the ring. So how are these guys going to stop him? You got Robin, Kid Flash, and Red Arrow. Roundhouse, I think he's okay, but I don't know how he's going to help, because can't help but wonder if Crush really... Let me see again. Well, she did give him a hard licking and stuff. It doesn't look like it might have hurt him too much, at least. But even still, though, after this, how is this team ever going to get back together, back on the same page here? Because here's the thing. Like I said, Roundhouse blaming Damian for the loss of his sister, thinking it's all his fault when really it's just an accident. It shows something to show that even though he found out he was going to be working with Robin, this is where I think he should have done something different. Instead of doing what he did that caused that mess in Terminus agenda, he should have just confronted Robin from the very beginning. Maybe, just maybe, this might have made things different. This might have gone out differently. But even, I'm not still saying would Damian have still had the prison? No, he most likely still would have had it. But at least maybe this would have helped defuse things a bit here. Because unfortunately, Roundhouse has hatred to Damian in most ways, which is just an accident. Unfortunately, though, when accidents happen, we tend to want to blame someone instead of taking responsibility in the fact that we made the decision to go through there. Even if you didn't know that the perimeter was about to be blown up or something, stuff like that'll happen. And yeah, maybe you should also blame that person who did it, but you should also blame yourself here, which he kind of does, but he also puts all that more hate on Damian than he puts on himself. At least that's what it seems. All I just know is when it comes to that, it's an accident. And really, there's really no right or wrong way to handle that. It's hard to say. But what I will say is that what he did with the Terminus agenda, hoping that freeing those prisoners would cause them all to realize what Damian did, but instead, he didn't seem to think through it enough. All he really thought about was revenge against Robin and exposing him, that he really didn't think this all the way through. So Roundhouse, you may be smart and everything, but you're not smart enough. You're letting your anger and wanting to expose Robin for being a villain blind you. And let's face it, we all know Damian. We all know he really wants to do good here. He's just really tired of the system of how the cycle continues and people just bad guys continue to just get away and everything. And I can understand what he's doing here. Just all his methods and stuff are very dark. It's kind of like a regress of his character, like people have been saying, and I agree with that. But I'm still a Damian fan nonetheless, because still, I know what he's trying to do here. He's just having a hard time and trying to find a right way to better do it. Which is really something these guys should be doing. Because wasn't Kid Flash supposed to be something of a middle moral piece of things to cross the line a bit, but not so much like Damian's doing? Because Kid Flash, yeah, I admit he hasn't really been doing that. But then again, with what he's been doing, he's been pretty much acting like how Barry has been acting with him, and whenever Kid Flash got mad at him for keeping secrets and all this other stuff. Maybe this is helping Kid Flash realize that him being so hard on Barry is making him see that the world is a lot more complicated than he thinks, and things aren't so simple like that. Because truthfully, it really isn't. That's what's so crazy about the world. But, you know, I've went on enough here. All I just know is this story has been interesting. There's not been one bad issue of Teen Titans. Adam Glass, Bernard Chang, these guys just know how to write a story. They know how to keep it compelling and stuff. The only thing I hope they can fix up is that when we're getting this drama and stuff, I like to see it all play through till the end and not be interrupted so much. But at the same time, I don't have much of a problem with it. It's not like a huge issue. I'm just noticing that thing there. But sometimes that happens. You have this drama thing, and you want it all to go through, but sometimes things interrupt you, and that can happen a lot of times, though. But still, I love the issue. Great explanation for Roundhouse. Great way to show the next stage in the book on Crush versus the Teen Titans, and how are they going to get Jin out of the ring after what Roundhouse did, and will they ever trust Roundhouse? And how will Roundhouse be able to redeem himself? Let's hope these guys can find a way to work out their issues and become a better team over it. But I have faith in it, because I know Adam Glass I don't know much about his work, but what he's been doing here is showing a lot of progression. But until then, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. And if you're enjoying my videos, all you got to do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!